What's going on in your mind? Should I jump or shouldn't I? Should I take a trade or shouldn't I? So are you having difficulties in understanding that what would be a good time to enter? Well, then this video I'm sure is going to help you, because in this video I'm going to explain you in detail what are the different criteria based on technical analysis which you can take a trade. I hope this video is useful to you, and if it is, then I request you to not only like this video but also subscribe to this channel if you have not already done. So let's begin. Hi, I'm Paresh Desai, Chartered Accountant. I am in this field of analyzing and studying the markets almost like 25 years and coaching experience since last 15 years. And today I'm going to teach you what, as I said, that analyzing and understanding what would be a good entry level. Welcome for this session, and today we are going to take the entries criteria. What are the different entry criteria on which basis you can take the trades? Okay, because many times you feel like, what should I do? You're sitting on the fence. Should I enter or shouldn't I enter? Should I jump or shouldn't I jump? Right? And then what happens is that the train moves out, right? So instead of the other person, you are thinking for yourself only, whether you should take the trade, and then the train is gone by that time. Okay, for example, something like that, what happened probably in Nifty today, where there was a sudden huge jump in Nifty jumped up by almost, you can see this is the hourly time frame on Nifty, and from a low of 17,000, like at this 12:30 candle, okay, so 17,000, it went to 17,315, so almost 300 points jump in Nifty in just what, around 2 hours probably, because it came down, and from here it was like in 2 hours there was a 200 jump in the gap. Okay, so how do you find what are the entry areas? Okay, so the first entry criteria what I'm going to take is the trend line breakout. Okay, so trend line breakout may will go for this. So assuming that you are a trader who is probably on an hourly time frame, right? On an hourly time frame, if I find that there is a breakout, okay, but this breakout was so huge that within just 1 hour, probably in 15 minutes time also, if I go and see, right? So if you are on a smaller time frame for 15 minutes, you would have seen that there was a slight breakout before. Okay, यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा breakout है, and then after this the price trying to come in, but the bulls were so strong that they brought the price above this, right? And once you find that यहाँ पर breakout हो गया, and what is this? In 15 minutes there was a morning star. Okay, so this is like a combination, दोनों combination है. एक तो पहला entry is what, that there is a breakout and there is a morning star, right? And morning star के बाद the price is continuing to going up. So the first criteria, okay, so I'm going to note down also in this on our chat box on the whiteboard, and then we can, if you want, we can just we can revise this later on. So the first criteria which I'm taking is trend line breakout. Okay, so this is, and today we are seeing only the entry criteria, and other criteria will be seeing later on. So only focusing on the entry criteria. The first entry criteria is that there is a breakout on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so if you are an intraday trader, then 15 minutes time frame is a superb entry level for you. जो यहाँ पर अगर आप entry लेते हो, like 300 points on Nifty into one lot of Nifty is 50 rupees, so almost like 15,000 rupees in Nifty by the time it went up. Okay, so this is also a trade which will be falling under the category of swing trade. ये swing trade के category में होगा, because यहाँ पर एक नीचे से it's almost at a support, and then from here it is going up. Okay, so if I find that there is a trend line breakout, तो पहला अपना जो base होगा, first thing what we have discussed is that is a trend line breakout and you are entering here, and this is the most common thing which I tell you whenever you are taking any entries. Okay, now I've already made it clear कि जो आपको यहाँ पर 15 minutes में दिखता है, this could very well have been a 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week also. So you have to decide what is your time frame. अगर आपका daily time frame है, let's say you are a positional trader or even a long term investor, तो आपको जो time frame select करना है, that time frame is going to be a daily time frame. Okay, so on this daily time frame, what I see is If I was on a daily time frame, then for me probably this would be 1 day candle, and during the day only the price would have come here and then it would have gone up, right? So the study remains the same whether it is for 15 minutes or 1 hour or 1 day. The candlestick patterns or the study is so beautiful that it is applicable across all the time frames, and not only all the time frames, across all the instruments, like even your stocks, your indices, your commodities, currencies, international stocks, US stocks, any markets, and also for cryptocurrencies. Okay, so that is a big boon for us. Let me just reset this, because okay, okay, so I'm just resetting this because there's something which was just not moving out from there. Okay, so the first thing what we see is for the entry criteria, trend lines, and believe me, trend lines are the best entries, one of the most conservative entries agar aapko lena hai. Okay, you look for only trend line breakouts. Now, when we see the trend line breakout, or along with that, remember always कि सिर्फ आपको एक ही time frame पे नहीं देखना है. Always see what's happening on the higher time frame. So here I've taken an entry on the hourly time frame. तो hourly time frame के लिए higher time frame कौन सा होता है? Daily time frame, right? So daily time frame, what do I find here? That there is already a trend which is moving up from here to here. Okay, यहाँ से यहाँ जो downtrend था, where you're finding that they were giving lower highs and lower lows, already यहाँ पर खत्म हुआ है, और यहाँ से the price has started already giving you a higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so the trend is already up. So that is one thing which you have to remember. So at least on daily time frame, I find that the trend is up. Let us see the candlestick patterns also. So before this green candle actually was formed, the price opened here and it would have gone here showing a small red candle. Okay, but that doesn't matter because the price can move anytime. Okay, and one more thing if you have observed is, as rightly pointed out, कि यहाँ पर एक जो gap था ना, this gap was not entirely filled. Okay, so this gap was also filled by here. Okay, by today afternoon, when before it went up, and then the price went up. Okay, so 300 points move once it started like moving up, and that was something which, as a technical analysis, you should be clear that those are not surprises. You should be expecting always that something like this is going to happen. Okay, especially if you find that the higher time frames the trend is up. Okay, so if the higher time frame the trend is up, then on the lower time frame, like for example on hourly time frame, don't expect it to go down for a very long time. And also before this green candle came also, you can just see what was happening on the hourly time frame too. Can you see hourly time frame the trend was up? Okay, so the trend was up, and here I would be just waiting for a superb opportunity that yes, this gap is filled, and even before this gap is filled. Okay, simple, very simple concepts. Okay, very simple concepts. Look at the type of candles which are coming here. Okay, hammer, and what is this? Spinning top. So spinning top, hammers, dojis, if these keep on coming at a particular level, either at the top or bottom, यहाँ पर ये bottom हो गया ना, because right now for when I'm here at 11:30, I don't know what's going to happen after this. Okay. So as we were discussing that, how do we take a trade? If you go and take backtrack, if you go and back test it, it is easy to understand कि हाँ वहाँ पर तो trend line breakout हो था, it was good to enter. But if I'm on this time frame at this particular point of time, what do I think? What's going to happen after this? Okay. So for this, you need to only understand that what you have to trade as per the market moves. Okay. So if the market moves up from here, you are bullish. If the market moves down from here, you are bearish. And you use all the tools. जितने भी tools है वो सारे use करो. So एक tool जो मैं यहाँ पर use, I would have used it, would be something like this. Okay, so if I use a trend line, here there was a trend line breakout. Okay, even before, if you see this one, okay, this trend line was, the price tried to go above this, but it came inside. But in the process, it has formed 3 candles which are of neutral pattern. Okay, and more so, where are they? They are near the gap which is filled. Okay, so I would be expecting, don't expect that the things are going to be worse from here कि यहाँ से price नीचे आएगी just because it's been falling. Okay, there's so many things which once you come understand out of experience, also you'll find that yes, now this gap is filled. Probably the chances of this going up are more. Okay, it could have very well gone down also. अगर नीचे जाता है तो then you would be bearish. If it goes above this, you'll be bullish. So how will you know that when to take an entry? Okay, so that is first question कि कहाँ पर entry लेना है. And second is how am I going to put my stop loss, which is very important. Okay, even before you, while you take a trade, the first things which you need to understand is where is your stop loss. Okay, मान लो आपको indication तो आ गया, यहाँ पर breakout हो गया, यहाँ the price is moving above this, and on a 15-minute candle, let's say you take an entry here. So if you are entering over here, your stop loss becomes the low of an earlier candle which has broken out. Okay, so this level becomes your breakout. At any point, you cannot say that 100% the price is going to go in your direction. Okay, we've already seen that everything works on probability in the market. Okay, and the probability that your trades will go correct will depend upon how much it is based on your technicals and how much carefully you're taking with discipline. Because if you take a trade just be anywhere, it may not materialize. Okay, but if you take a trade something like this, then the chances of the trade going up are more. Okay, and even if you take a simple trend line breakout, you'll find that almost 70 to 80%, sometimes 80-90% also the trades will be going correct, right? But sometimes will it go wrong also? Yes, possible, very much. Okay, so that's the reason the 3:1 reward risk ratio. Remember, अगर आपका risk 1 time है तो आपका reward कम से कम 3 times होना चाहिए. Okay, so if I'm taking a trade here at this level, so I can just mark it out this one over here as a long position, और इस level पे अगर मैं एक trade mark कर देता हूँ, this red portion would show my risk and this green portion would show my reward. Okay, and once I just put this, you'll find that my reward to risk ratio would be easily at least 3:1. So let's see whether it was 3:1 or not. Yes, very much. It was around 3.67. Okay, so take those trades. So whether to jump or not will depend on two things. First of all, whether you find a proper system, whether you find a proper indication and confirmation. Okay, and then not only that, it has to fit in your reward risk ratio. जैसे ये reward risk ratio बैठ रहा था. So अगर ये दो चीज नहीं होते तो don't take the trade. Okay, I'll repeat again. Number one, you have to find indication confirmation. And second thing, it has to fit in 3:1 reward risk ratio. Every day you'll find there are so many opportunities which are coming in the market that there is no way that you will not get any trade. Okay, कहीं ना कहीं तो trade मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. If not a long one, a short one. If not in equity, then in indices. If not in indices, then in commodities. If not in commodities, then in currencies. कितना सारा option है सोचो आपके पास, right? So every day it is literally like a market or a huge machine which keeps on throwing out opportunities. Okay, so this is the first one which we have seen what would be for a trend line breakout on one time frame subject to higher time frames being positive. Okay, so this is, I'm taking only the entries for long. Short ka entries, let's say if I get some short entries also will cover, but right now I'm taking only the long entries. Long entries में जहाँ पे आप सोचते हो कि यहाँ से खरीद के आपको अब बुल हो, यहाँ से प्राइस ऊपर जाएगी. Okay, so this is the first one which we are working out, which is your trend line breakout. Okay, now the second one which I would like to take is based on the EMA, exponential moving average. Okay, so exponential moving average, the basic exponential moving average which I would like to take is for 5 exponential moving average. Okay, so 5 exponential moving average. If I take this 5 EMA, then let us see that what would give you an entry criteria. For example, now similar one, let's say even this thing also. If I find some other example, we'll take that. But over here, what I find is the price had come below 5 EMA. Okay, it was below 5 EMA on this time frame. Okay, and the moment it started moving up, okay, even here it is below 5 EMA. Okay, and now it is above 5 EMA. So watch out on 5 EMA criteria. अगर 5 EMA के ऊपर जाती है price, that would tell you that yes, this is a good time to buy. And especially if you are an intraday trader, then you probably will go on a 15 minutes time frame. And on 15 minutes time frame, when you find that there is a support, there is some indication, confirmation, and then after that the price is going above 5 EMA, that would be a good time to enter. Okay, so if you see this, there was this low in 15 minutes, ये एक low था और एक low था, and this low was actually little higher low. Okay, and from there the price moving above 5 EMA. In addition to the first one, okay, जितने भी indicators साथ में देख सकते हो, look out for that. 5 EMA does not mean कि अगर आपको ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट नहीं मिला फिर भी आप 5 EMA पे देखते हो. No entry over here, guys. Please remember. Okay, 5 EMA over taking entry over here would not be a great idea. Okay, this would be highly risky and it might take more time also. Okay, so we have to see as far as possible जितने maximum indicators आप देख सकते हो उतना देख लेना. जैसे I give the example for कुंडली, right? So in कुंडली there are around, let's say, 36 points. तो 36 में से आपके कितने गुण मैच होने चाहिए? Maybe probably 24, 25. But let's say out of 36, only 5 or 10 or 12 are matching. It may not be so good for a boy, for both the boys and boy and as well as the girl, right? So we will do a matchmaking where you find that maximum number of criteria, maximum indicators, whatever you've known, whether you've done level 1, level 2, जितना भी आपने study किया हुआ है उसके basis पर आपको जितने ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपको ingredients मिलते हैं, जितने ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपको you get cues which are in the favor of the trade which you are taking, either long or short, then those would be better. More the merrier. Okay, so यहाँ पर अगर आपको trend line breakout दिखता है and then after the trend line breakout you find that the price is above 5 EMA, then you can enter here on the basis of the 5 EMA. Okay, so that is the second criteria which is based on 5 EMA. So let me just note it down whatever we are taken it is. So the second criteria, the number one which I started was for your trend line, and the second one is for 5 EMA. Okay, so 5 EMA के ऊपर जाता है तो that would be a good entry point for you to understand हाँ कि trend line breakout भी हो गया, 5 EMA के भी ऊपर है. And 5 EMA I call it as something like your litmus test, correct? So litmus test में क्या होता है? Litmus test में it's a simple test where you put litmus paper in that whatever acidic or that solution, और अगर color change हो जाता है तो that would mean that that solution is either acidic or alkaline, depending upon what the color is, right? I'm not a science student, but I still remember what is that was a very simple test. You just had to dip that paper in that solution and find out whether the solution is acidic or alkaline. Okay, so same thing here. तो यहाँ पर एक simple test है कि 5 EMA के ऊपर अगर price जाती है, so that would be a good entry criteria. Okay, now another criteria which I'm going to take would be based on simple criteria which would be like a hammer. Okay, so hammer के basis पे भी एक trade ले सकते हैं. For example, if I find that the price is over here, okay, and I got a hammer here, okay, only hammer basis, okay, only hammer basis, and which is at the bottom of a trend. Okay, so hammer at the bottom of the trend. So अगर hammer at the bottom of the trend आता है, okay, so if we take a hammer at the bottom of the trend, let us see. Can you see that this is the trend which is at the bottom, which is a downtrend, और lowest point पे आपको hammer मिलता है यहाँ पर. Okay, so let me just enlarge this and show and see. Okay, so if I take this hammer, okay, nice hammer over here, और ये hammer के बाद what I find is that the next candle closing above this. Okay, and where is this? That is at the bottom of the trend. So hammer at the bottom of a trend is a bullish indication. Now this is a trade which is little risky. Why risky? Because यहाँ पे कुछ शायद trend line breakout या लंबे समय का शायद trend line breakout वगैरह शायद नहीं हुआ रहेगा. Okay, but in spite of that you are taking a trade. For example, if I take even a flattish trend line like this, the trend line has not yet broken out. Okay, यहाँ पर breakout नहीं हुआ है. कहाँ पर? When I'm talking about this one. Okay. So simple one candle hammer as my indication and another candle closing above the hammer level is my confirmation. Okay, so this is a trade, but again wait for 5 EMA also. Can you see there's the price has gone above 5 EMA? So 5 EMA to रखना ही रखना है. Okay, if it is not above 5 EMA, there's no point in entering into that trade, right? So litmus test always remember has to be there, or at least when you take the trade जब बाद में after taking the trade if it goes below 5 EMA, that might be possible, but when you take the trade the price has to be above 5 EMA. So if you take a trade here, your stop loss is the low of this candle which is a hammer. Okay, so hammer के ऊपर next candle. Now did the next immediate candle close above this? You see that the immediate candle did not close above this. In fact, it was like this. Okay, the following candle closed above the hammer level. So hammer का भी level में mark करके रखता हूँ. So this becomes my neutral zone. Okay, and if the any price closing above this, I'm bullish. Price remaining within this, I'm not taking any action. No, nothing to do. If the price closes below this, probably I would go even more short. Okay, क्यों? क्योंकि already मुझे यहाँ पर एक डाउन ट्रेंड दिख रहा है, यहाँ से डाउन ट्रेंड दिख रहा है. So अगर यहाँ से डाउन ट्रेंड दिखता है, and then if there is like a breakdown of this hammer also, then probably the price could have gone even lower. Okay, so hammer, so only one simple basis would be hammer at the bottom of the trend with the price closing above this. Okay, so this is the third criteria which you are taking here, that hammer above. So I'm just marking this, hammer at bottom of trend. Okay, yes. So when you see the hammer at the bottom of the trend, the next obvious question is, what is the stop loss? Okay, so we'll discuss what is the stop loss also. So hammer agar bottom of the trend pe dikhta hai, so obviously the low of the hammer is your stop loss. Okay, so if I see here that there is a hammer here, okay, एक अच्छा खासा hammer आ गया. पहले देखो कि bottom में है, hammer है यहाँ पर, and once you find that there is a hammer here, then the low of this hammer becomes your stop loss. This is a trade, as I said, with little aggressive trade. यहाँ पर risk factor ज़्यादा है, but the more the risk, more the rewards also. In this case, this would be more like a swing trade. हो सकता है कि अगर आप higher time frame में जाओ तो आपको आपके direction में you will not find that the higher time frames may not be in your direction. Okay, so this would be cases of reversals. So जब भी reversals होते हैं तभी higher time frames will not support you. Okay, so this is only for people who, I would say, who have got some good experience of taking a trade. Otherwise, सिर्फ hammer के basis पे trade लेना is not advisable if you are a fresh trader. If you are like you're just starting trading now. Okay, but if you have a little bit more experience and if you traded earlier and seen and back tested, okay, then hammer trade would be good for you. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So the third one which we seen just now is only a hammer and trade based on hammer, and the price closing above that would be your confirmation. So indication है, ये confirmation है, stop loss इतना सा छोटा सा. Target could be sometimes huge. Okay, sometimes the target could be huge. The first target probably could be this gap. So can you see it is more than around 3 or 4 times. Okay, so obviously this gap was failed, and then the price continued to go up. That was a very nice move. Okay, so I'm not discussing any exit criteria. We'll see that later on. But today I just want to discuss about all the entry criteria. So I hope the third entry criteria is is understood with everybody. Okay, so now the fourth entry criteria which I'll be taking would be for a scenario where you find that there is a breakout and then there is a retest. Okay, तो पहला वाला तो हमने breakout पे देखा था, that first there is a breakout. So let me see that if you find a similar one over here where you find that there is a breakout and retest. Okay, so I'm sure you know what is a breakout and retest criteria. So let me go into a little smaller thing. Okay, if I draw a trend line probably from here to here, okay, for example here what we find is that there is a breakout here. Okay, तो यहाँ पर एक breakout हो गया. So breakout is your first entry which we had seen, right? कि पहला entry अपना होगा will be based on breakouts, which is most conservative. Now the next one which I want to consider is that after a breakout, don't take an entry, wait. Okay, because as I said, out of 10 trades, I would say that sometimes 8 to 9 trades, the price would come for a retesting of this breakout. ये breakout जो level है, उसके ऊपर जब भी breakout होता है, when the price again comes back for a retest, that would be the good time to enter. Okay, so here what I find it, there's a breakout, and then with the price again coming here, testing the same level and then going up. Okay, so breakout, then a retest, and then this would be an entry. Okay, so if you find that there is a breakout and then there's a retest, so that retests are sometimes can give you great values. Okay, काफी बार क्या होता है कि there's a huge breakout, right, and then the price again comes back to the same level. Sometimes even like there are sharp moves up. So जब भी sharp moves होते हैं, remember the thing which I say always, that don't chase the price. Okay, price chase नहीं करना. अभी जैसे ये भी अगर if this was on a daily time frame, that probably this would have been a very higher amount of value packed in this. But ये 15 मिनट के भी हिसाब से इसका the value inside is quite high. Okay, so this was like a breakout, and then this was like a retest, and then on retest you enter. Okay, so let me mark out. Let us just note this down. What is the fourth one? So the fourth one is retest after breakouts. Okay, I hope you're getting good value out of this, and also revision if you've already done this before. And if you've got any questions, you can put it in the chat box and we'll handle it later on. So retest after the breakouts, this is the next one. Let us go to the next criteria. So इसके बाद में जो next criteria मुझे लेना है, which will be based on a simple concept, but nothing but that is of the lows. Okay, or basically the Dow theory. Okay, so in the Dow theory, which is also very important, I'm again going to come probably, let us see, let me come on Sun Pharma and see that how we can take those trades. Okay, so in Sun Pharma, for example, we find that the trend is up, right? यहाँ पे एक अच्छा खासा trend already पकड़ा हुआ है, and then the price is going up. Okay, now obviously the price has gone up from, we were in November at 454, and by what is this, November, so in October 2020 it was around 450, and by October 2021 it became almost like 830. Okay, so there was a very nice trend. Even now if you find that the trend is up only. Okay, so when to enter, अगर ऐसा आपने कोई trend देखा है कि okay, this is a very nice trend stock which is going up consistently. Okay, obviously no stock is going to go up in a linear fashion. ऐसे straight line में कोई भी stock नहीं जाएगा कभी भी नहीं, और अगर जाता है even vertically, avoid that stock. It is not worth taking so much risk. Okay, so you'll always find that the stock will be going up, then there'll be a correction, goes up, 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 correction. So this correction, up movement, correction, up movement, correction, up movement is a common thing which always happens in the market, and you have to accept it. Yes. Okay, so जब भी आप accept करोगे हाँ ये price ऐसे ही चलेगा, okay, and that is the time when you actually start understanding the market. Okay, so this is something, the markets are something which work on the concept of price and not on time. Okay, ये कुछ fixed deposit या savings account नहीं है कि अगर आपने एक साल रखा तो आपको 6%, 6%, 7%, you are definitely going to get that money. No, it is not a concept of time. It is a concept of price, and price moves as per this fashion only. Okay, it's going to go highs and lows, and sometimes there is a trend which is up, sometimes the trend which is down, sometimes the trend could be sideways. These are three trends. So if you are a person who thinks that okay, I want to go long, अगर आप खरीदना चाहते हो for whatever time frame, whether it would be for intraday, whether it could be positional, whether it could be long term also. So another criteria what you have to see is that it has to give you a higher low. Okay, so let me just show you what are higher lows. So यहाँ पर अगर हम देखते हैं, I just mark out this low. So what I find is that yes, this is one low. Okay, उसके बाद क्या हो रहा है, प्राइस ऊपर गई, higher lows आ रहा है, another higher low, higher low, higher low. Higher low is nothing but the valleys. When the price comes down for a correction, it does not go back to the earlier low level. Okay, उसके ऊपर ही रहता है. So that's the reason why we call it as a higher low. Okay, so this is a higher low, this is also higher low, this is a higher low, this will be almost little low, or you can say equal low, little lower or equal, again a higher low, right? So what are we seeing? We are seeing that the price goes up, again comes down for a higher low. Okay, and over here, okay, so this would be the time when you're going to enter. That yes, if the price is already gone here, then you are waiting for this opportunity. ओके और वो अपॉर्चुनिटी कौन सा है कि जब भी प्राइस मूव व्हेन द प्राइस स्टार्ट्स मूविंग अप, okay, that is the time you are going to enter, and you have to identify that yes, the price has given a higher low. So on that basis if you take a trade, those trades can be really great. Okay, तो ये इंट्राडे में भी बहुत अच्छा चलता है. It could be also for positional, it could be also for long term investing, right? And you get the best of the prices. और अगर आप higher low देख के trade लेते हो, believe me, your ROIs are going to be superb, excellent. Okay, because instead of buying when the price has already gone up, you are buying at a lower level. Okay, look at this. So for example, this price was 900 and it had gone to 820. So from 900 to 820, almost like 9% less. So 900 to 820, so 80 rupees or over 900, somewhere little less than 10%. So if you are buying at an 820 level, okay, if you're buying at 820 level, 810 levels, okay, may not get exactly here, but at least you can get at 830, 840. Yes, definitely, why not? And also, and you again consider the things which you have learned, okay, which was what? Trend line breakout. Then what was that? 5 EMA. One more time, can you see? So the earlier two things which we had worked out, that there is a trend line breakout and there is a price above 5 EMA. This was your entry point. Okay, and from here onwards, 833 onwards, what you find is today the price is already at, it had crossed this 900 level and it is gone, it had made a high of 930, and today also it is around 914. Okay, so the fourth criteria or the next criteria, we already marked out 4 ones. So the next important thing which you have to understand is that buy on up moves after higher lows. Okay, so अगर higher low दिखता है आपको, okay, only then you buy. Don't, if you think कि higher low काफी दिन हुआ है, तो काफी, let's say 10-12 candles back there was a higher low, leave it. It is again going to come back. Okay, so as I said, there will be opportunities, if not in this stock, in some other stock. If not in this stock, maybe some international stock. If not there, maybe in commodities. If not commodities, maybe in currencies. If not in currencies, maybe in indices. कहीं ना कहीं आपको ये trade दिखेगा ही दिखेगा. Okay, so this is the next criteria, which is where you buy on up moves after higher lows. Okay, so the next one which you go is the normal candlestick patterns. Okay, so ये higher move जो दिख रहे थे, I would also like to show you on the Nifty also today. If you see, when there was a breakout, before that breakout, look what is happening. Okay, don't you see that there was a higher lows? Look at this low, look at this low, look at this low, and look at this low. So this was a higher low. So any trade beyond this is your entry. And again, question of stop loss. The stop loss is the lowest point of that low. Okay, तो जैसे अगर Sun Pharma में मैं अगर मैं trade लेता हूँ, और if I'm taking a trade at a higher low, and if I find that this is a higher low over here, then on this higher low, my stop loss is the lowest point over here. Okay, ये breakout अगर है और ये breakout अगर मैं लेता हूँ, तो I told you first think about what is the stop loss. Think about the targets later on. You always have to see what is the safety, right? A mountaineer, when he starts going up, he will lose his life if he falls to the ground. ऊपर जाएगा तो शायद, I mean, if he goes up, if he is able to climb above, then it's a good thing for him, because yes, he'll be achieving his target. But what if he slips? Then he is dead, right? So first thing what he has to see is to ensure that he's, first of all, he has the proper safety gear. He knows that if he falls, till where he'll fall. All equipment has to be in place. So first he has to think, where is my stop loss? Where will I stop if I skid and fall down? Okay, so if he goes to the bottom, then probably he's dead. So over here also for you, the when you take a trade, आपको देखना है कि आपका stop loss कहाँ पर है. तो पहले stop loss देखो, हाँ ये stop loss is here. Okay, that is once that is determined, then you decide what's your target. Okay, so this was the criteria which we have seen for your the higher low criteria. Okay, next criteria we'll be seeing on the basis of your candlestick pattern. Okay, so candlestick pattern आपको कई बार भी आ सकते हैं. जैसे for example, here you're getting, I can show you the same pattern over here. Okay, so if you see in 15 minutes, okay, अगर आप 15 मिनट में यहाँ पर देखते हो, so what is this pattern? This pattern is a morning star. So morning star, ideally at the bottom of the trend, first red candle, second a neutral candle, third candle closing above the median of the first red candle, right? So this is a morning star. और morning star है कहाँ पर? Morning star है at the bottom of this trend. So bottom of the trend में आपको अगर एक morning star दिखता है, so that is your indication, and on the basis of the morning star you can take a trade. Okay, so that is your candlestick pattern. Now in addition to morning star is more, you can say, reliable. Other patterns which you can take would be your bullish engulfing or bullish piercing. Okay, so but rather than those two, I would prefer if there's a morning star where you find that yes, the price is given you a proper morning star. If not proper, sometimes the morning star may not come exactly in 3 candles. So don't go by a strict definition कि नहीं morning star 3 candle में आना चाहिए. Okay, so अगर 3 candle में नहीं आता है तो हो सकता है कि 4 candle में आएगा, that's okay. But the first red candle, okay, first red candle का median के ऊपर जो close होता है, probably the 4th candle also possible. Consider that 4 candle pattern as a morning star. Okay, technically perfect morning star would be this, where you find the red candle, this and this. Okay, so इसमें जो low candlestick, if you take a trade on the basis of the morning star, then the low of the middle candle becomes your stop loss. Okay, इसका ये जो stop loss है, which I have marked here with the black line, this becomes your stop loss if you take a trade on this basis. तो ये indication होगा, any move above this would be your confirmation. Okay, so let me just note down one more time what is the next thing which you have done, and that is on the basis of your candlestick patterns. Okay, based on candlestick patterns like morning star and bullish engulfing. Bullish engulfing would be better. Okay, सिर्फ piercing है तो piercing से ज़्यादा bullish engulfing would be better. Okay, so that is the next one. Now we go to the next one, which is on the basis of your patterns, which is nothing but your chart patterns. Okay, so chart patterns में जब भी हम चलेंगे, so we have seen that there are 2 types of patterns which will give you entries. Okay, so I'm going to go and back test. If I find any pattern, let me see, then we'll take it. Otherwise, we will go for something which is already been established. Okay, because those could be little rare. Okay, so let me see if I find something on this basis, or probably it could be in says. Okay, so what I want to refer to is over here is your double bottom. Okay, ये bottoms नहीं बोलेंगे इसको, double bottom, triple bottom, 4 time bottom, 5 times bottom, इसको double bottom नहीं बोलना या triple bottom भी नहीं बोलना. Okay, this is a nothing but a support. ये जो है ना, ये strong support है, इसको double bottom नहीं बोल सकते, because bottom first of all has to be at the bottom most point. Okay, तो अगर ये एक single bottom है लेकिन वापस price ऊपर जाके it is not moved out the way how we will be calling it as a double bottom, तो ये it is only a support. So for double bottom classics, I would just like to go to a pattern which is there in this stock, which had formed when the price was what? It was, let's see. Okay. Yes. So simple patterns, simple concepts, one of the most simple concepts which we find that the price makes a bottom number 1. Okay, तो यहाँ पर अगर bottom लेता है, so there's first bottom, again price coming at the same bottom, right? So this is a double bottom concept which you have learned in the chart patterns. So chart patterns में अगर आपको double bottom आता है, number 1, or another one is if you find that there is a something called as a inverted head and shoulders. So these 2 patterns would be the bullish indication pattern. So based on these you can take a trade. और एक pattern है which is very interesting, and that is nothing but the cup and handle. But cup and handle is like finding a diamond, right? So cup and handle, recently we are checking out a stock which possibly it may happen, may not happen, I can't promise you now. Okay, but agar hota hai, let's see, I've not seen the movement today, but if it happens today, it is still sideways. तो अगर यहाँ पर एक breakout होता है, and this may look like a cup and handle to some of you who have already have this study. Okay, तो ये cup और एक handle के जैसा अगर दिखता है, and if it is supported with volume and the price moves up, then it may be a cup and handle. अभी तक कुछ form हुआ, it is just forming. Okay, so till the time it is formed, you can't say whether this is actually going to be mined or not. Okay, so cup and handle is the third pattern. So three patterns hai which are the bullish reversal patterns. One is your double bottom. Then the second one is your inverted head and shoulders, which I'll show you on this stock, which is your Tata Power. I'm sure many of you have taken this trade in last year. So ये जो trade था Tata Motors का, which was a classic trade with, I hope if you go back in history, almost like what this was in November 2020, more than a year back. Okay, many of our students have taken this trade, which was a inverted head and shoulders. So in inverted head and shoulders, we find that this is a shoulder, then this is a head, and this is again a shoulder. और यहाँ पे जब भी breakout होता है, whenever when there is a breakout here, this is a inverted head and shoulders breakout. Okay, so this is the third pattern which you can take the trades on for a bullish trade. Okay, तो ये सारे bullish trade आज हम discuss कर रहे हैं. So bearish trades probably you might take sometime later on. Right now everybody wants the market to go up. If later on, if it is required, sometimes I may take the entries for bearish trades also. लेकिन अभी आज सिर्फ bullish trades ले रहे हैं. Okay, so the third pattern, which is your inverted head and shoulders. Second, I told you would be your cup and handle, and the first one would be your double bottom. So double bottom, अगर दिखता है तो entry is after the second bottom. Okay, तो अगर double bottom दिखता है. Okay, so sometimes there is a confusion कि enter कभी करना है, bottom तो दिखा, but when do you have to enter? Okay, you have to enter only when the second bottom is confirmed. Okay, second bottom अगर confirm हुआ तो ही. For example, you cannot take a trade on this basis, because if you're taking the trade here, it would be like taking an anticipatory trade, thinking कि हाँ यहाँ से price ऊपर ही जाएगी. Okay, don't take an anticipatory trade with an assumption that yes, it has taken a support here. It has taken a support, but next candle, whether it takes support or not, will be known only when the price starts moving up. जैसे यहाँ पर अब आप देखोगे तो price ऊपर जाने का start हुआ. Okay, but if it could have very well continued to go down, then that would not be a double bottom. It would be just like a breakdown of a support. ये support का breakdown होता था. Okay, so be very careful when you enter. Don't take an anticipatory trades anywhere for that matter. Okay, कोई भी anticipatory trade कभी नहीं लेना कि हाँ यहाँ पर double bottom हुआ है तो यहाँ से ऊपर ही जाएगा अभी. Now it is just nearing that breakout. That means now next candle there is going to be a breakout. Please don't take any trades based on anticipatory trades. Okay, assumptive trades. So after this, what happened was that it actually took support and went up. So this is the next criteria which we've seen, that where we find that the entries would be based on your candles, your chart patterns. Okay, so let me just note it down one more time. So the seventh criteria which we take is based on chart patterns. Which is double bottom, then inverted head and shoulders, and up and handle. Okay, so these are the three patterns based on which you can take the trade. Now, one last one I would not like to discuss here. कि एक बार आपने trade लिया, okay, exit criteria will be seeing later on, but once you have taken a trade, what will keep you inside the trade? That is also very important. क्योंकि काफी बार क्या होता है, I have seen that people take a trade and then they exit with a small profit, and then you find, wow, the price has gone quite high. Okay, जैसे यहाँ पर अगर हम देखते थे on 15 minutes, okay, when the price started moving up today, and if you are an intraday trader, तो आपको, since this is a live trade today, let me just go on a 15-minute trade and see what happened today on the intraday. So अगर यहाँ पर मैं 15 minutes में मुझे आज ये दिख रहा है, okay, so this was like a, let's go to today's trade. Okay, so if I go to today's trade, then I can go on and see what's happening on a 15 minutes line chart. Okay, 15 minute का line chart पे जाऊंगा मैं. And if I see on the 15 minutes line chart, what do I find? Okay, that the price is making these kinks. Okay, it's not making a lows, they are making kinks. Okay, but these kinks are also higher. Look at this. This kink is higher. This is higher. This is higher. This is higher. This was one high which was formed. Okay, अच्छा, ये high form होने के बाद ये एक low form हो गया. Okay, so now once this low was formed, now this has formed a higher high. Okay, and the price closed here for intraday. ठीक है, तो अगर मुझे continue करना है, okay, let's say if it is an intraday trade, probably I'll have to exit here. But assuming that this is not an intraday trade and you would like to continue this even for a little more time, okay, and this could be on any time frame. हो सकता है ये daily है, हो सकता है ये hourly है, कोई भी trade पे, that this concept is going to work on every time frame. Okay, right from 1 minute to 1 month, we've got so much variety. 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Okay, all these time frames are there. Okay, probably on 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours also. So every time frame this concept will work, where if you want to remain in the trade, आपका जो time frame है, note this down, whatever is your time frame, the trend has to be giving you higher highs and higher lows. Okay, तो अगर यहाँ से अगर आप trade लेते हो, let's say taken a trade over this, then don't exit when you find that 2 candles have come down. Okay, क्योंकि यहाँ पर क्या होगा, you will exit and you'll find that the price has gone up. Okay, so for you to remain in the trade, okay, the first one is if you are very conservative and if you find कि नहीं यहाँ पे target आ गया, I want to book my profit, that's also fine. Okay, be yourself. Don't try to imitate others. You know, the other people are taking more profits. Whatever you're comfortable, as long as you're making profits, it's okay. If you leave some profits on the table, then you should have compassion for the other person. कि चलो मेरे वजह से दूसरी को भी किसी को प्रॉफिट हुआ. ओके, बिकॉज अगर आपने यहाँ बीच में अगर मान लो ट्रेन से उतर गया और ट्रेन आगे चली गई एंड यू फाइंड, ओ आई मेड ओनली प्रॉफिट्स of probably only 10,000, but then if I remained in the trade I would make 20,000 या 50,000 ही किया अगर ये रहती तो 1 लाख होता था. Okay, so whatever you have done, be happy for it, be grateful for it. हाँ चलो profit हुआ, but if you want to have the maximum advantage of this, one thing what you can do is follow the trend line. अगर आपको ज्यादा, if you are little conservative, go on a little lower time frame and select the time frame for the trend line. और उस वो trend line, वो trend not line, वो trend जब तक positive है, you can remain in this trade. Okay, so the last one I will just note it down here is that for remaining in the trend, okay, for remaining, this is one of the indication, I'm not giving you others. Okay, for remaining in trade, okay, follow the line chart. Okay, so till the time you find that the line chart is giving you a positive trend, you can remain in this trend. Okay, I'm sure you understood what is a good time or how to recognize what are the good opportunities where you can take a trade while entering into a good trade. So if this video is useful to you, you think that's of great value, don't forget to comment below this and also subscribe to this channel if you're not already done, and like it. You can also forward it to your friends if you want. Once again, this is Paresh Desai signing off. Bye.